Dynamic in rhythm and sound, it's no wonder so many musicians are drawn to the water. For John and Susie, it was a shared appreciation upon which they anchored a new life. Now the historic home on the hill, once the captain's house and popular tea room, enriches the couple's life with its charm, whimsy, and of course, ocean floaties. But first, we'll visit Kit and Chet. After years as a self-declared nomad, Chet returned home. With a new love and family in tow, he followed his heart to a familiar lakeside community. There, from a tiny cabin by the shore that they fondly refer to as their little piece of heaven, Chet, Kit, and 10-year-old Leland find all the room in the world to enjoy the little things. Water stirs the senses. The sight of a tranquil lake, the sound of an enlivened river, the smell and taste of a salty ocean breeze. Water is Mother Nature's most engaging opus. Where better to enjoy it than from a home on its edge?
The thing that most people express when they come here is the serenity. And I don't think there's a better word to describe the feeling that you get when you're on Sunken Lake. It's serene.
I grew up in this community up until I was 18 and left at the age of 18 and thought to myself that I would never be returning here. Everybody's moving west. I had gone to Toronto for university. Till 30, I was in Toronto, and then I started living nomadically for more or less 6 years. RV, Walmart parking lots across the US and Canada. That got a little tiring, and then just was bouncing between like Mexico, Colombia, coming home. As time shifted, I started to realize that I need to make a shift in my life to no longer be nomadic, that it's time to come home. I had always knew in my mind and in my heart that this is home. And right around that time is when Kit and I met, and it just made it a lot easier to start a life here, because to have a life partner is significantly different.
I was actually in Ontario, and COVID had hit and I'd lost my job, and Leland was doing homeschool. So we've never been to the East Coast, so we made a plan to come to Nova Scotia to check out some properties and see if maybe it would be somewhere that we would want to live. So we finally end up here, and then I just walked out and saw the lake and was like, oh my God, awesome. It's where small community meets these big, amazing natural spaces.
Yeah, and like I've never experienced like anything like that before. Like it was just so crazy because like in Ottawa, we lived in the suburbs and there wasn't really anything like that.
It just was awesome. It was great to see somebody be able to view this part of the world. What we have here, it's a little piece of heaven. You look at the outside of this house, you're like, well, there's probably not much value there. And then she walked in and she's like, I love it. It is large, it's open, and it is on the lake. This house, to me, it doesn't matter necessarily. Like, it's got 4 walls and we're all in here having a great time. Do I need space for my stuff? No, I live nomadically. I had a backpack and a smaller backpack that I lived at for 3 or 4 years. So I don't need space. I need good people and access to nature. The idea of moving in here was a no-brainer. It just made sense for us to be able to live the lifestyle that we wanted to live, and that's why we're here. When you walk into this space, what you see is what you get. We don't have a mudroom. And when you walk in, like when somebody knocks on the door at Sunken Lake, at this house specifically, you are just entering into our home. There's no mudroom, there's no greeting, there's no caveat of making sure that the house is in order before you welcome somebody all the way in. It's like you answer the door and
there's shoes. You can't even open the door sometimes. There's shoes, there's jackets, there's nowhere to put anything in this house. So it is
Yeah, the front door is literally walking into the kitchen, walking into our living room, walking into our full living space, which ties into the way that we live. Like, we live as a community that's completely open, and the front door is just open to our home, which is just how we feel about the whole area. That's just the nature of this house is just the nature that we live here. So it works.
Yeah, my favorite part of the inside is just that it's open, but then at the top, there's a very large painting of an eagle. I don't know where it came from, I don't know who did it, but that's really my favorite part of the inside of the house.
My favorite part on the inside is probably that it's all made out of wood, because I don't know why, but I just like wooden stuff. Cozy and like cottagey, and also like it feels like home.
My favorite part of this house is the kitchen. I've somehow domesticated myself through this whole process of being with Kit. I knew how to cook before I came here, but I just was reluctant to doing so. I slay at breakfast, like whether it's smoothie bowls or eggs on avocado and so on. I could breakfast all day, but that doesn't necessarily require a functional kitchen, but dinners, I would say I'm getting better at, and it's because of the kitchen, not because of me.
The deck is just really the perfect spot to go out and work when I have just a lot of admin work to do on my computer or something like that. Sometimes it's even nice going out for a phone call because there's more reception out there than inside the house. So any kind of time that I can work outside, it's really nice to do on the back deck right at the lake. I like to go sit right at the end of the dock is my favorite spot to go and just sit, especially when the water's calm. Sunrise is really nice and sunset is beautiful.
We do get a full appreciation of the full life cycle here. And we have loons as well, and ducks and baby ducks and eagles. And so right now it's baby ducks. Whatever day it is, it's a different day and it's a different animal that you're getting to experience. It's the frogs, it's the, we call them peepers out here. You're falling asleep to an orchestra of different animal noises, and it's a very nice quiet. As Nova Scotians, we have such seasonality. And so whether it's winter here and the lake is ice and you can walk straight across to my mom's at the other end of the lake.
Or skate.
Or skate, which we do from time to time, is skate all the way to the other end. But with the significant weather changes that we experience here, some mornings you'll wake up and you can't see anything other than 20 feet out the fog. And that is an incredible calming experience. It just takes away your surrounding and it feels like it's just you. Or some mornings you'll wake up and it's just a sheet of glass and there's no wind and you can see a reflection in the lake of the entire community. And even when it's raining or there's a storm, there's always a great aspect to living in nature. And of course in the summer you're just outside because it's hot and you're swimming every day. It's just really incredible to be outside. We have a hillbilly pontoon boat that is quite hilarious. It is actively sinking as it's floating. So I found it on a marketplace and just acquired it and had some welding done to it, and much to the nature of constant renovation, just the way there's a lot of nice pontoons on the lake, but this one, it's like a deck. And it looks like a floating hot tub as it goes down the lake. And I installed bilge pumps so that as water seeps into this boat, which because there's too many pinholes in it, it shoots the water out at the same time. And we just quite like it. Leland loves it because we can take it out into the middle of the lake and him and his friends can jump off of it, and it's like a floating diving board with a motor on it. Having been nomadic for so long, you can see that in cities and in other places where they don't get access to nature, how important it is.
Well, I grew up in a suburb just outside of a city. Safety was number one, which I still always tell Leland. That's what I've taught Leland. And moving here has been such a relief. I just feel that we are in such a safe community and there is so much for a little boy to go out and explore in nature. And I feel comfortable with him going outside to explore alone like little boys should. And I think that a lot of kids just don't have that opportunity these days. We know our neighbors, and so I feel safe with Leland walking down the street because I know that the neighbors are looking out for him. They know where he lives. They know us. Everyone knows everyone around here. The trails that are just 2 minutes away are so awesome for dirt biking, for snowshoeing, for hiking.
Yeah, it's a really good spot for dirt biking because there's like a covered bridge just 2 minutes away. Any chance that I get to go out into the lake, I will take it. Yeah, it's really good to be an 11-year-old here.
I can speak significantly to that when we talk about raising Leland here. Having grown up here myself, I know that blanket of safety that this community provides and that Leland can go outside and I don't think about it. And that's just something that lives within me. I've seen it in Kit and in Leland that the longer you live here, the nature, the people, it relaxes you and it gives you safety. And that's what community is. It's safety, and we feel really safe here. And
yeah, it was a shift for sure. It was a big shift for sure, eh?
Yeah.
So I've loosened the reins quite a bit since moving here, which I think has been nice for all of us.
Yeah. When we moved into this place and there was no auxiliary heat source other than the wood stove, when we chose to live here year-round, we weren't even sure how insulated this place was, but I did know that it was going to require a significant amount of firewood, and it was a great honor for me to pass on the skill of and the importance of stacking wood. So Leland has been an incredible addition to stacking the wood outside and bringing it in.
I mean, yeah, I'm getting the flow of it, but like, yeah, I think I enjoy it, yeah.
There's been an incredible shift in our lives, and to be able to work from home and feel relaxed, it is not work. You know, we do have the fortune of working together and raising Leland, and the important thing is that when it's time to spend time with Leland and go to his sports or do family activities, that's really what we get to drive home here. Kit and I spend 24/7 together, which
It's actually absurd.
It is absurd, you know, the amount of time that we spend together, and by choice, which is fantastic. I don't know that before meeting Kit I would have ever thought that getting into a business opportunity with the person that you live with is a good idea. That sounds horrific, but we work really well together, and it's just nice to be able to provide for each other and for Leland in the way that we do.
My goal in life was to retire on a lake, as I think a lot of people do. It's just there's something just so calming and peaceful about the water. That was just always my dream, and I just feel really fortunate that I was given the opportunity to do it at such a young age. So I just feel really fortunate to be able to just live on a lake. It's just amazing.
The heart of this home, I think, is just the people that live in it. I don't, day-to-day, I don't ever think about this house as what needs to be done or what attracts me to living in here. It's just who I live with, and it'll always be that way for me. It's always nice to add on to the house and to make things more livable, easier access, more storage, etc. But this place could be smaller. It could have less. And I would be just as happy with my life. That is not any amount of significance. So the heart of the home is just who I live with.
I've always been drawn to the water. There's something about it. I don't know if it's being, from the Maritimes. I don't know what it is, but I feel drawn to the water. I always have, and when I lived in California, the same thing.
Water has always been a part of my life. I'm a Pisces, so I do swim anywhere I can, and I, grew up in Carmel, which is right on the water and the beach. San Diego, beautiful beaches. So when I came up here and water was everywhere, in front of you, behind you, everywhere you go, I thought this is just my dream come true. I love it. So we were just kind of casually looking for a house, maybe to do an Airbnb and stay in it when we traveled. And we found this place, and it was, coming down into our price range. And we were just like, we've got to do this.
We contacted the real estate agent, and he showed us through, and it just had kind of a magic feel about it, you know?
Originally, this house was the Tinglebridge Tea House, and it was a little restaurant, and people knew all about it and came here
Yeah.
all the time, and it was just beautiful park-like grounds. Yeah, it was very famous in the 80s.
80s, yeah.
And then I think a woman from Florida bought it and renovated it, made it a really nice open floor plan house.
And the tea house was one incarnation. I mean, the house was built in 1898.
When this house was first built in the early 1900s, it was a ship's captain's house. And apparently, they're always up on a hill overlooking the water, they could see the enemy coming, that kind of thing. But yeah, so this was, the center part of this house was the very old home belonging to the ship's captain. I would say that the interior has sort of a shabby chic theme, and that was really popular in the 80s, 90s, and I still love it, so it works for me. Yeah, that's what I would call it, shabby chic. So when you enter from the mudroom, you walk into the kitchen, and it's a beautiful open kitchen with a beautiful island, marble. I love the kitchen. The first thing I did was baked sourdough bread, and I've been baking bread ever since. I bake cookies, I bake everything, and it's just a great kitchen for cooking. It's set up really functionally.
It flows very well. It's very well designed, maybe partially because it was one time a restaurant in a sense, so everything about it I like.
You enter into the sunroom, and that is also another room that is full of windows and French doors, white, light, everything.
You look out and it looks like you're looking at a painting out there. And it's a very, very calming space there as well. So I'd say my favorite view is the sunroom. Whether it be fall, winter, spring, summer, it's always a really great view looking at the water.
I would say the Mahone Bay bump is a very unique feature to this house. They have a lot of them in Mahone Bay, and it's the 3 windows and, just the little area that's an extra add-on to the bedroom, and that's pretty unique, and I love that. I call it the ferry station. A super light little place that I can do my makeup and do my hair and all that kind of stuff, so I set that up right away, and that's like my little private
Ferry station.
Yeah, my ferry station. That's what John calls it. I also love the basement.
Oh, yeah.
The basement is like an entire floor of the house. It's huge. So John's got his, workstation down there. He built me a closet for all my ball gowns and things that I'll never use here.
The pool table is really unique. It's got a unique design. I've never seen anything like it. There's this seafoam color material on it. It's kind of a conversation piece because
Unique color. It's like a seafoam color. I've never seen one that color before. People really love this house. They walk in and they're like, this is gorgeous, and I think it's kind of a happy house. People tend to be very happy to be here, and it's got a good energy, so.
literally the first time we saw it was the most striking for me because it was up on the hill from the road. It felt like it had a great energy just even looking at it.
Well, I love the long driveway because it makes you feel like you're entering an estate. And yeah, it's a really grand entrance to a grand house.
I really like coming in the front, and we have a great tree in the front with a little swing for Susie. Just the composition of the front of the house was something that really inspired me at first.
We love gardening. It's kind of new for both of us, both coming from the city.
I don't feel I am a green thumb at all, but I've learned, I've read a couple of books and just kind of through trial and error, Susan and I have just kind of, found a few things to plant, and we'll see, how that works out. There's a cool swing out there that we really like, and it was in pretty bad shape, and I painted that, made it feel like it's part of the property again. And then we have a pond And we had to kind of rebuild the waterway for that because there's a waterfall for it. So that took actually a couple of seasons to kind of get going, which now it finally works.
So the bridge looks like something out of a fairy tale, you know, it's just like a white arched bridge over the pond and over the little stream. Great for taking pictures in those ball gowns, which I never wear. But yeah, it's just a really beautiful location filled with flowers. Right now the lupins are blooming there. There'll be some peonies. What struck me the most about this house was the fact that it's right on the water. You just look out the door and the bay is right there.
Anywhere in the property, there's no bad view. It's all good, all good.
I always have the table set for 6, just in case we have guests.
They get offered tea because it's a
Yeah,
former tea house.
tea house, exactly. Yeah. If friends come over, we usually play pool. Pool is like, you know, they're like, oh, you have a pool table? And that's the first thing we do. I have a collection of pool floaties that I tie onto the dock out there and I float out into the middle of the bay. One of them looks like a big seashell. And I think it looks pretty strange to people driving by. It's kind of become like a thing. And I spend most of my summers out on the bay. It's really peaceful out there. It's another sound barrier, so when you get about 50 meters out into the water, it's almost silent and it's super, super peaceful. I love it.
We tether her, you know, and so I'm usually the one that's pushing her out and bringing her back in as well. It's just kind of a real fun thing to do in the summer. So I started playing music when I was going to school, part-time, but I was playing professionally in the bars. You know, loved it, loved playing, loved performing. And then I started writing songs. So I kind of came to the writing song aspect a little bit later in life, but felt like that was my calling. So I won a songwriting contest or something and started performing my own material and went on to release now 5, 6 albums. The songwriting part of it is, you know, great joy for me. The creative juices really flow when I'm in the space and working. It does allow the creative mind to process better, I think, being in a space like this.
I don't think either of us would want to leave Mahone Bay. We found a real sense of community here. It seems to be the perfect size for us. It's quiet. We have a lot of space in the city. You know, you're right up against everybody, and that can be fun when you're 20. You know, but this has been great, and I don't foresee us ever leaving this house.
I have to just echo what she just said. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the perfect place in many ways, and there is a sense of community. It's the first time I've ever lived in a small town, but either one of us lived in a small town like this. So, yeah, it's a very satisfying place to live. When I'm away from water, I notice it, you know, I really do. And so I can't explain what it is. It's a combination of things that draw me. It's always been inspiring, and you just look out on the ocean and just life seems better.
Whether nestled alongside a riverbank or perched high above a distressed ocean, living on the shore has its perks. But beautiful views are only the beginning. The sights, sounds, and sensations of the water are constant in their impact, improving moods, perspectives, and lives. To exist and grow on its edge is extraordinary, an experience made even sweeter when shared with the people we love.
You've been saying it for so long. Let the